Are you saying, so you're saying that you don't want, you don't want to think about Joey Tribbiani's cream pie?
No.
I think we should have a cold open for once in our lives.
I started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder. Couldn't help but wonder. I couldn't help but wonder. I couldn't help but wonder.
What's up, ladies and everyone else? We are your favorite podcast, City Girls Make Do, and we're back with a very special guest again this week, and we're talking about Season 3, Episode 9. I am your host, Stephanie, and I'm cutting off Carrie's head with a chainsaw.
I'm Alex, and I'm the creator of HealthySperm.com.
I'm Sara, and I'm canceling my rice pudding.
Oh, wow.
Good.
After this episode, we are all canceling our rice pudding, and we are canceling Carrie Bradshaw.
Oh, I think we're cancelling ourselves, maybe. Like,
Yeah, I think this is the episode of the show where the first time I ever watched it, I was like, okay, Carrie is fully bad now. This kind of solidifies it as she's the worst in the group. So
I knew what was going to happen, but I was still screaming at my computer the entire time. I even texted my mother about it because she watched a lot of... I talked about it the first time I was on, but my mom watched a lot of Sex and the City when I was a kid, and the show would always be on. And so every time... I think of her every time I watch an episode for this podcast, and I always text her about it. I told her, yeah, it's the one where Carrie cheats on Aiden with Big, and I was yelling at my computer, and my mom's like, and Big practically forced himself on her, and Aiden is so much cuter than Big.
yeah, it's true.
I mean,
she's right.
It's true, but, like, that's not a very high bar to vault over, like...
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, Carrie Bradshaw, I don't even know if she has a bar. But
It's
yeah,
definitely on the floor at the very least.
It better be a fully stocked one.
Carrie has dug a hole like 50 feet into the ground and thrown her bar in there with such force that it broke another 50 feet of ground, and that's where it's sitting right now.
Damn, she should go to the Olympics. She's got a shot put arm.
Javelin.
I wish she would throw a javelin into Big's chest, and that would maybe make her redeem herself.
Oh, like the funny Nightman?
Yes!
From Game of Thrones.
Yes, exactly like that.
I was more thinking of I was going to make a reference that neither of you would get, because when someone says impale, like, my brain just immediately flashes to a scene from the end of Final Destination 3, where a girl just gets, like, an American flag launched through her torso.
Oh, that's good.
Makes me think of the Two Towers Extended Edition, where Saruman, like, falls off of the Tower of Orthanc and just, like, impales himself, and it's so good.
You know, I still haven't seen the second half of that. We watched, my girlfriend, her roommate, and I watched the first disc, and then it came time to change it out, and it was like 9 p.m., and I had work in the morning. I was like,
That's a good call.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten back to it yet.
Even I have fallen asleep in the second half of Two Towers before.
Yeah, because that's
I
when the
started
Battle
it
of
too late.
Helm's Deep is, right?
Yeah, that was me, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so. But anyway, with our episode...
Well, hold on. Sorry, while we're on the topic, because this is the first time it's come up, can you believe that the Battle of Helm's Deep is finally going to be unseated as the longest battle sequence in, like, filmed history by Game of Thrones?
So,
Fucking...
this confuses me, because wasn't the third Hobbit movie just entirely one gigantic battle scene? So I feel like that probably usurped the Battles of Helm's Deep. It didn't mean it was better, but it was certainly longer, like, to me. I don't know.
No one, maybe people just rightfully forgot those movies.
Do you know what? I feel like this week, at least with, you know, the synchronicity of Pigot and CGMD is just pain. Just like, I feel like someone has taken the spinal fluid out of my back. Like,
I feel like who made me more angry this week? Like, was it Carrie Bradshaw or was it Danny? I don't know. Probably Carrie, but I also just am mad the whole time I'm watching Game of Thrones, so it's kind of like, yeah. Yeah, but
Should we get into this? Because I feel like we're like 5 minutes in already.
yeah,
We
let's do
haven't
it.
talked a second about the show.
Okay,
Yeah. So
it's-
I make this. Oh, hold on. I make this note in my notes every single time, but I just want to like pop in and say that the theme song is so like hashtag iconic. The theme song of the show is just so perfect to me.
Okay. So I was watching a thing like the other day that was like stuff you might not know about Sex and the City. And they shot like
Did number
a
17
different...
surprise you?
It definitely did. But they shot a different opening with Carrie, and she's like just wearing like a fucking plain blue dress, and she gets like a bit of. She doesn't. I think she sees a guy, and then she runs after him. She doesn't get splashed with the water from the bus. She's not wearing the tutu, and
Does you see the ad that says Carrie knows great sex?
yeah,
Okay.
that's the like only same thing, and she's walking down the street.
I mean, honestly, like her after the end of this episode, her credentials as a good sex knower should be revoked.
They really
Yes.
fucking should. I guess this is also a good time to say that I was in New York last weekend and I got to go to the iconic footsteps. So if you follow our Twitter, you will see me dabbing on Carrie's footsteps.
Oh yeah.
But so I guess that I can no longer say that I've never been to New York City. So I can't make that funny anymore. But I did have to wait in line to get my picture taken there, but there is a sign in the window that is an anti-Trump sign, so that made me happy, even though it was unrealistic in the canon of the show. But yeah,
so
okay. The episode.
the episode, yeah, we have Miranda and Steve.
Her cat is back. The return of the pussy.
Yeah, she was kissing.
Yeah.
She was kissing her kitty. She's got the good pussy.
Yeah,
She
she's pulled a
does.
Jon Snow. She kisses it goodbye in the morning. And
I just love the idea of like Jon Snow like waking up, kissing, like just giving Daenerys' pussy, just like all right, talk to you later.
That's honestly my ideal boyfriend. Not related. Ideally not related to me. I'm gonna actually put that as a big caveat, but like just all right, see you, Alex. See you, Alex's pussy.
true, and you wave goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, see, I hadn't been watching. I had not. I obviously because I love my brain. I had not been watching the show up to this point. So I really didn't know who Steve was, but he was immediately endeared to me by the fact that he had a puppy in his arms.
I mean, it's hard for a man. It's hard to dislike a man when he has a puppy in his arms.
Especially that looked like a little Bernese or something, which is like my favorite kind of puppy.
It's very
a lovely
cute.
boy. Yeah. But Steve does suck. And apparently, okay, so they broke up last episode. And we find out that they've been living together for 3 weeks. Despite being broken up.
Seems like a while. Yeah. Like, does he not have any friend whose couch he could sleep on or something? Like,
Yeah, true, but she does have a really nice apartment.
I mean, true, but like you're staying with your ex. Like, that sounds like, even if it's an amicable breakup, that just sounds uncomfortable to me. Like, I would not want to be there.
No, and so she's trying to sneak out in the morning, and like the puppy starts barking, and Steve wakes up, and he ask her if he's like, I was thinking maybe you could come with me to look at apartments. Which,
Yeah.
again, weird.
Yeah, well, he says, would it be weird? And it's like, yes, but she's not going to say it.
Also, did you notice her little brooch?
I didn't. What was it?
First, I thought it was a uterus, and then I think it might actually be like an Aries sign.
Bitches be okay. A of all, a uterus brooch is 100% a thing that like at least 40% of TERFs own, and
Yes.
B, bitches will live with their broken up boyfriend from 3 weeks ago, and be like, can't help being an Aries. Three. Hold on, Aradia Miranda. Thank you. Those are my jokes.
Oh, I love it. I'm so happy you're here.
I love it.
I hope she's an Aries and not a tough. It would make
Yeah.
sense if she's a fire sign. So let's jot that down.
You talking about Miranda? Or you talking about Cynthia Nixon?
Miranda, because Cynthia Nixon definitely isn't a tough, because I'm pretty sure one of her kids is trans.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hold on, let me just look up when Miranda Hobbs' birthday is. Miranda Hobbs was born in July of 1966. So we
Okay,
cannot
then.
say definitive. She is potentially a Leo, or what's the other one in July?
Cancer?
Yeah.
That's a water sign?
Yeah, either of those would make sense.
So you have to read that she's a fire sign, which means she's a Leo.
Yes, 100%. I mean,
Okay,
I
so
can't be
she's
bothered.
a furry. Okay.
You're saying that to our Leo guest who is a furry, so facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
it's confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed.
I can't be bothered to fucking Google shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So then we go to, so Aiden has this like designer showcase where he's showing his furniture because that's what he does for a living. And so Carrie's there as his booth bitch, as she calls herself. And they're just like kissing on top of the cabinet, which is kind of tacky, but I mean, go off.
Yeah, I'm not buying a fucking chest of drawers from a man who is making out on top of it.
Yeah, probably not.
Also, like, the term booth bitch really caught me off guard because, like, in, like, the mid 2000s, like, at the mid to late 2000s and, like, the early 2010s, I guess, there was a prevalence of booth babes at video game conferences, like E3 and stuff.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and, like, it felt, like, weird and antiquated when they were doing it in, like, 2006.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Carrie isn't there to be sexy. She's more just there to help out. But I would
Yeah.
love if she was in a bikini. You can kind of see her bra.
Oh,
She's wearing a bra?
You can fully see through her top in this scene.
I do. I nearly bought a sheer dress the other day.
Nice.
But then I realized that it would probably be too small, but I still really want it. I do love sheer
I
clothing.
love sheer. Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's very, like, in your face. It's like, yes, I am wearing mismatched bra and knickers. What about it? Anyway, so, like, Aiden... Yeah, he goes off. He's like, what does he? Does he have to go talk to someone? He's like, whatever, I'm leaving. Bye.
I don't know. He's running a booth at like a big furniture or whatever thing. Like I imagine there's a lot of like running around he's got to be doing.
Yeah.
But in the time that he abandons her, Mr. Big shows up.
And Natasha. Yeah.
Yeah, and another fact I learned is that Natasha is almost always wearing white.
Yeah. She is.
And
anyway.
Mr. Big was wearing gray a lot in this episode.
Yeah, because he's fucking boring.
Yeah.
So then Carrie sees him and she like ducks, because Carrie's stupid. She ducks behind it, like the drawers or whatever it is. And then Big obviously sees her because she's just crouching behind an object.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a stealth game.
I mean, you look at Mr. Big and tell me that, like, if you had to gamble on it, like, I would bet that Big does not have object permanence.
True. And also, just, like, the male selective vision. Yeah.
Yeah, he just gives off an aura like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that he doesn't know what anything is. But he sees her and he's like, what the fuck? So she has to bounce out and be like, oh, hi.
I loved Carrie's voiceover in this scene because she's just like, I always fantasized about running into my ex and his wife, but in those fantasies I was running into him with a truck. Just like a huge mood.
That's the most valid thing she does or says this entire episode.
Yes, this is like her peak, and then she's about to just plummet off of it. So
yeah. So yeah, oh my god. Okay, so Natasha is like, she describes the wood as oppressive.
Uh-huh.
And then when Carrie is there, she's like, oh, we really like it. It's just, not our style. How do you describe wood as oppressive?
Good question. She also calls it clunky.
Architecture, I guess. Like, that's the most charitable read I'm gonna give.
Yeah, architecture, yes,
like,
but a fucking wooden chest of drawers.
Like it's just like the kind of people that, like, it's just like a mismatched terminology. Like I feel like it's kind of the same as if I described like the mise en scène of like of like A Tale of Two Cities. Like, you kind of get what I mean, even though it's like not really what works.
If I was being kind, I would say that this was like a choice to make Natasha. I mean, obviously it makes her seem like an asshole because she's talking shit and then going back on it when Carrie's there. But I would say it also kind of makes her seem like pretentious because she thinks she knows what words mean and doesn't.
True. Well, I mean, Natasha probably wouldn't know oppression if it, slapped her in the face. But
No.
And then yeah, Aiden comes back and Carrie like introduces them, and they do the very funny like, oh, we're about to learn what Mr. Big's name is, but then we don't because they're interrupted by like Aiden spills, or what is it? Carrie spills coffee on Aiden or on Big or something, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, she puts it on his dick. It lands on his junk.
Yeah,
which is, I guess, burning him.
It's my second favorite gag from like TV shows of the 90s and early aughts, which is the character whose first name you don't know, and every time it comes up or almost comes up, like either like a really loud truck drives by, or like someone, or like someone like drops a bunch of dishes, or like someone gets coffee spilled on their dick.
Getting coffee spilled on your dick kind of takes the cake. I just wish that it had left like 2nd-degree burns or something, and his dick was never the same again.
Just scald that foreskin clean off.
Oh, as if he has that.
Oh my!
Turn that foreskin into a 2-skin.
This reminds me, I typed out and then deleted a comment earlier today where I said I was going to say the first half of Lemonade is audible cock and ball torture. And then I decided against
Wait,
it.
audible or auditory?
I guess auditory. See, I'm just like, Natasha, I don't know what words mean.
The thing is, you're valid. I mean, Natasha's valid too, but
like, okay, confession, I haven't listened to Lemonade except for like one or two of the singles off of it. But like, if you told me that like there is just audio, like I don't know, I've been trying to be less pedantic about things like that. But like, also, I would have 100% believed if like Jay-Z had just been getting his balls stomped on for like a couple of tracks on Lemonade.
yeah, I mean that's pretty much sorry. That's pretty much what happened. So
yes, it is auditory then. See, I'm like Natasha. I'm pretty and young, and I don't know what words mean. But my dad's rich. Oh, he's not. I wish he was. Then I wouldn't be a communist.
Possibly,
but,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like Natasha uses this as kind of like an excuse for them to leave. Like she's like, "Oh, we got to go clean up now because your dick's all wet." And Aiden kind of asks who they are, and Carrie just blows it off like just people I knew a long time ago in a past life. Like,
yeah, you can't say that. You kind of need to be. If your ex is there, then you can be like, "That was my ex, and that was his wife." And like, I don't think Aiden is definitely not the type of guy to freak out about that.
No,
yeah. He looks like Paul Rudd. He has to be calm.
He's like a gigantic Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's like if Paul Rudd ate Adam Scott.
Oh my.
You said Adam Scott, but my brain thought Adam Sandler, which I like a lot more to think about.
That would be really good. I only said Adam Scott because they're like best friends. And I was like, oh, he ate his best friend and became twice the size.
I love this. Okay, so and then later on, Aiden's gone again talking to someone because he's working.
He's busy,
and then he's busy. He's a busy boy. He's busy
boy
and
makes
booked.
do. Yeah.
So then Big comes back with a glass of scotch in his hand.
Yeah, drunk off of his fucking ass.
Yep.
Yeah, the past 2 episodes he shows up, he's been drunk at some point, which, very appealing.
Which reminder of the piece of art that Summer so kindly or cruelly made for us. You can see on our Twitter if you have not already. It's really bad. You need to see it.
It's so good. So yeah, he calls Aiden Paul Bunyan, which is rather apt. And he's like, he's a big boy.
I mean, he is a big boy.
Yeah, it's big boy season. So and we're not talking about Mr. Big.
Is Mr. Big Big is now like intimidated by the sheer size of this man.
Yeah. Why doesn't the bigger Carrie boyfriend not simply eat the other Carrie's boyfriend?
All right, I am cracking open this monster, so I could get a little bit more wired, but my energy is waning, and I have another podcast to do after this one, so it's like an Easter egg for We Hate Movies, because I do love an audible can crack.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm hanging out with my uncle's drinking beer, and now I'm hanging out with my friend just smashing energy drinks. It's great. Okay, so, yeah, and then he's talking, he's like, everything in my apartment is beige, I don't like Natasha.
And Natasha also talks about, or Big also complains about, while Natasha is there, he complains to Carrie about the teeny tiny furniture.
Yeah, because he's a big boy, really, so maybe I like to imagine everything is like child size, like when you go into like a school and then you sit on like the tiny desks and you're like, how was I ever this big?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can relate to that, because I go back to, like, places for children, and I'm like, oh, this toilet is me-sized. I mean, okay, look, my 12-year-old sister has been taller than me for, like, over a year now, so...
Listen, short queens, keep your head up.
That's true, yes. I do.
Don't let that crown fall.
Yeah. And, like, okay, so Carrie's not really having this. She's like, okay, where's your wife? And, you know, he's, like, slamming his drink on Aiden's furniture, and she's, like, wiping away the ring that leaves behind and stuff, and just, she's not into it. She doesn't like this at all. And then Big,
they're not even dating, and she's already cleaning up his messes again.
Mm-hmm. It's gross. And he, like leans in.
How is this the endgame, man? Like, that, my notes literally say that. Like, it's as big as a fucking slime ball, because, well, Stephanie, you say that he says, what's the line?
Which one that he says? Oh, you mean the one that he says after, where he's like...
Where he leans in is like, by the way...
Yeah, so he leans in and he says he has a secret. It's not working. I don't know why I said it with that voice, but...
yeah, and he says it into like a wrapped up magazine, like he's a child.
Yeah, and then he says he's getting out.
And he is, like, screaming in the middle of this, like, there are, like, still people around, and he's just like, hey, I'm Mr. Big, and I'm horny, and I hate my wife.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to say the thing that Alex said before we recorded, which is that Mr. Big is Rhaegar Targaryen and Natasha is Elia Martell. And, which is true, because he's basically just like, I'm a big bastard man and I need to leave my wife for someone else who I'm gonna accost and who doesn't even want this. And
well, I said Jay-Z and Beyonce, but also I mean, that's
you did say Jay-Z and Beyonce. Why did I project this onto Big and Carrie?
Because it works. It does work.
It's true. The thing is, all men are men are all Rhaegar Targaryen bastard man.
Word of the week.
I thought, okay, for a second there I misinterpreted that, because I thought that the original comparison had been comparing Beyonce and Jay-Z to Big and Carrie, and, like, Steph just, like, supplanted Rhaegar and Elia in for them.
I feel like I could never compare Carrie to Beyonce. I could compare Jay-Z to Mr. Big, and I could compare Jay-Z to Rhaegar, and I could compare Mr. Big to Rhaegar. But the thing is, at the end of the day, the thing that Jay-Z has over both of them is that Jay-Z makes some really funny faces sometimes. True, and okay, well, Jay-Z also has one other thing on them, which is that he's not a literal rapist. So
yeah,
Mr. Big. I mean, okay, I guess Mr. Big isn't like a rapist, but like he does he does force himself on Carrie this episode, but
again,
like, she does
on the floor.
Yes, okay, but Rhaegar Targaryen for sure. Big bastard man, and I hate him. Anyway, this isn't Peagot, but okay, so
he got it's good that he got a cacuine hole.
This is a good episode already. Where are we? So, yeah, and then we go to brunch with Carrie telling the girls, and my favourite part of acting, where everyone's like, except Samantha, who just shrugs her shoulders, and you can clearly see her mouthing. Yeah, told you. I knew it.
Yeah, and then she's like, let's just say it, you won. And I do love that they even debate that there's a possibility that people don't win breakups, because, like, let's be real, they do. So,
and I feel like Carrie's whole meltdown was that she didn't win because he moved on so quickly to someone who was, like, more not his type, but just like
kind of like,
all right,
quote,
remember,
unquote, perfect.
Someone who does not make a living writing about fucking in the paper.
Someone who is a Jackie and not a Marilyn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah,
and so then, what happens? Then they ask what she's gonna do, and Carrie's like,
there's a very good line where I can't remember who asked it, but they ask, what was he doing at the furniture show? And Carrie just responds, drinking and leaving his wife.
Yeah, I mean, he
that's
does
what 4-year-old men do.
Yep.
That's all they do.
Men be like, I drink and leave my wife.
My dad had been sober for like 3 years by the time he was 40, but also he was legally required for the entire duration of that year to drink and leave his wife constantly.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad. Love you, Dad. Like my dad would ever listen to this podcast.
No, I keep it secret from mine.
I don't think my dad knows what a podcast is, but even if he did, he'd hear me say, like, Joey Tribbiani cream pie, and then immediately throw his iPod out the window.
Yeah. So, like, okay, so Carrie says, she claims that she won't do anything because she's got a great boyfriend, and she's not insane. She wouldn't do anything. She's not stupid.
No, and yeah.
Carrie
and
clearly
like,
hasn't read the script.
No. But they were like, well,
yeah.
how long have they been together? 7 months?
Yes. Well, they've been married 7 months.
Yeah, and then Miranda, being a shitty friend, she fucking vague boasts Charlotte when she's sitting right next to her.
I'm Miranda. I'm the kind of person who's like gonna subtweet my friend and be like, "Who does this?"
Okay, but also, like, if you had the opportunity to Disney wedding yourself with Special Agent Dale Cooper, would you not?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
this question directed at you specifically, Stephanie, because I feel like if a man of that caliber walked into your life, you'd have no choice but to Disney him.
Now, Matt's cool.
By which I mean cut off his head and freeze it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. Yeah, that's a really good point, Sarah. Yeah, because Charlotte gets very defensive. She's like, resents that Miranda would say that, because her and Trey are nothing like Big and Natasha, even though they're, you know, like, they're in love and moving at warp speed, and she's like determined to marry him this year, so.
Can I say about this, by the way? Rule of Threes got broken this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because Miranda makes a dig at Charlotte, and Charlotte's like, I resent that. And then way later in the episode, when Adam is like, oh, you're just one of those girls that doesn't want to give head, and Samantha's like, I resent that. Where was the third I resent that?
Oh, that's a good point. I feel like it should have been when Miranda and Steve are talking, and she goes, and he's like, what? And she's like, I resent that.
I think it was Carrie talking to the camera after we watched the episode and said, this is bullshit. I think, but I don't know. It's really hard to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, basically Charlotte's convinced he'll propose.
But she hasn't met his mom yet, and she's meeting his mom like tonight or soon or something, and she does think he's very close to proposing, and Miranda says she's had pantyhose longer than her relationship, which is very good.
Mm-hmm. And then speaking of Miranda, we're in Steve's shitty apartment, or the one he's hunting for, and it is like,
it's where he deserves to live.
I mean, yeah, it does look like the place from Hostel. Like, it seems like you would get murdered there, so I don't know.
Yeah, like, it 100% looks like a venue that like a kind of shady kink club would rent out for the weekends.
Yeah,
I'm 100% sure that Son of Sam, that's where he lived.
Yeah, I wrote that it looks like a prison, so I think we were all on the same page here.
He does deserve to be a prison.
Listen, sketchy BDSM, like sexy BDSM venue, like definitely at least one of the rooms has to be a fuck prison.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's just the castle from kink.com.
Yeah, pretty much. And
what?
Steve...
Back up?
The castle that they have all the kink.com stuff in. They have
what is
castle.
kink.com?
What do you think it is?
You know, you've got a good point. Okay, yeah, it is kink and fetish porn for the adventurous. Oh, cool. I do like the landing page. They do give me the option that I only want to see gay or straight porn. Like, just like if there's like the thing that's like, hey, only adults are allowed here. It's like, do you want to see the gay shit or the straight shit? I really appreciate that.
Thank you for just getting to the point.
Yeah, true.
Right?
I have a question. Whose bar is lower,
yes.
Carrie's or Steve's?
Carrie. 100%.
I mean, Steve just said, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but like, to be fair, like, there is pressure on Steve. There's at least a little bit of pressure on Steve, and he is like well, I really don't want to stay on her couch anymore, and, like, if I turn this down, especially if I turn it down when she's here, imagine you're in Steve's shoes, and for some godforsaken reason you've been stuck on your, like, ex's couch for 3 weeks, and they go to you with this place, and you say no to it, like...
Yeah.
You just feel like a giant asshole. No matter how bad the place is, you're gonna feel like a shit.
Yeah.
This is why I don't understand why he brought Miranda with him, because I mean, yeah.
Maybe it was so that he would just, like, maybe he's been visiting places and he kind of doesn't want to leave, and if she's there, then he's sort of forcing himself to say yes.
He's like, well, I tried to leave, but you didn't want me to live in, this prison apartment. So
it might be manipulation. Maybe he's taking her to the literal worst place he's seen.
Yeah.
So then she'll feel bad for him. But I mean, you can read it positively or negatively, I suppose.
I don't think he's smart enough to do that is the thing. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Miranda calls it the doorway to hell, and she's like, I refuse to let you move here. Like, I will help you find a better place. And, okay, also she has, like, a red power suit in this episode. And it murdered me.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's, Miranda describes it as, what does she say? It's the intersection of what and West Shit Street?
I missed that part.
Oh, I don't know. It's
but
probably something.
Either way, we get to Samantha's question, or Carrie's question of the week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, her and Miranda are walking first, and then, because, like, Miranda's talking about how she feels really guilty about the whole Steve situation, because she's basically like, Steve has no money, so, like, I can't just kick him out, right? She feels bad because, like, if we're on the topic of, like, winning a breakup, Miranda clearly is the one who has a nice apartment and money and, like, a good job, and Steve is the one who has nothing, so she doesn't want to just, like, throw him onto the street. And Carrie suggests that they need, like, a city-funded boyfriend orphanage. And, like, all of their exes can go there and just, like, think about what they did wrong and cry. She says cry themselves to sleep. Yeah, so interesting thought, Carrie.
Interesting thought experiment.
Carrie is certainly an interesting thought. That's a good point.
You're really true. You're really right. And then we get her question. So she's in her apartment writing, and we get this voiceover, and she's like, there's this really common belief that women use the left emotional side of their brain and men use the right logical side. But is it really that simple? Like, in a relationship, should we follow our head or our heart? Like,
no, men are stupid. They don't use their brains for, like, 0.1 seconds of a day.
They use a head. Well, cis men use a head.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of thing my mother would say.
Waka
like,
waka.
He's not thinking with his head, he's thinking with another head. And like, that's just the type of woman she is. And I think everyone's mother says that at some point.
Probably, yeah.
But and then we spend some time with Special Agent Dale Cooper.
Yeah, thank God. This is
Bunny.
Bunny, we meet Bunny. Okay, she's gonna be a power player. This is our Olenna Tyrell.
I was going to say Olenna Tyrell.
Well, I was thinking Olenna Tyrell, but my brain did just only suggest the word of Marjorie Tyrell, which this is definitively not. But in my head, I was thinking Olenna.
Oh my God.
This whole thing is like Joffrey, Cersei, and the Marjorie subplot. Okay, so, yeah, they're talking. Bunny is like, I guess we should describe Bunny because she's new.
I mean, she's old.
She's old. She always wears like a ribbon in her hair, which is a power move when you're like 80. Mm-hmm. And she's like an old, like, waspy lady, and she is Olenna Tyrell.
Yeah, she's Olenna Tyrell if Olenna only... Oh, wait, did she only have sons? I'm not sure. But,
I think so.
Yeah,
Trey reeks of only child.
He reeks of only child, and she reeks of mother of boy-son only child, who, like, is extremely, like, protective of her perfect baby boy son. And
yes.
Every mother who only has sons is the same, not the same person, but, like, I don't know. They all have this energy, and it's stressful to me. But things are going fine, and, like, okay, this kind of creeped me out, though. Charlotte's, like, observing their relationship, because she's very, like, obviously wants to make this good impression, and she's just very, like, manipulative of Trey. Because, like, he orders a scotch, and she's just, like, she puts her arm on his, like, or she puts her hand on his arm and is like, oh, why don't you order a wine? It's better for your heart. And he's just like, okay. And, like, just does anything.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, and then, like, everything's going well, and just, like, she keeps doing the thing with, like, putting her hand on his arm and just, like, giving advice to him, and Charlotte's just, like, taking mental notes the whole time, like, okay.
I've also got in my notes that Trey calls Bunny a camera Nazi.
Yeah, he does say that.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
The waiter there is like 100 years old, which I adore. I love when there's like someone like, you know how in Batman where Alfred is like fucking 70 and you're like, he's an old man. Will you let him rest, you fucking rich asshole?
Yeah, true. Yeah, Charlotte's taking this information and she's going to use it later. And then
I'm going to store it in my brain and save it for later.
Yeah. And then Sam, okay, now we got Bobby here. Okay, his name's actually Adam, but
Bobby Carnival.
Yes. Oh God, what a good guest. Ugh, fuck, it's really good. This subplot, we've been waiting for this for a while. This is good. So she's
it's iconic.
It's iconic, yes. She is giving him a blowjob, and then when he finishes, she kind of just like looks confused and disgusted on her face, and we just get a smash cut to her at brunch saying that I'm dating a guy with the funkiest tasting spunk.
And then Charlotte storms out.
Yeah, she just gets up and fucking leaves.
Sorry, I was in the process of taking care of something, but did we comment on the fact that his name is Adam Ball?
Yeah,
you get one.
We didn't say that. His name is Adam Ball because
and he's also the person. He's also one of the people responsible for those coming soon trailers, which is a joke that they make, and then he just shouts as soon as that sentence is said. He just shouts, "I'm coming! I'm coming!"
He should have shouted, yeah.
He does shout it, and we get like a sort of downward angle on his face as well, so it really puts you in the
puts you in the driver's seat, yeah.
And my favorite thing is when she's tasting it, she just sort of like smack her lips, like she's tasting something funny. It's such good acting.
Kim Cattrall's a legend.
What confused me is like, okay, this might get a little bit like, okay, you don't have to answer this, but like when you have it in your mouth, you're not like you're doing that thing where you like don't breathe through your nose so that your taste buds like don't taste anything before it
you're
goes
not
away.
Like swishing it around in your mouth like it's a glass of wine.
You're not like tastes like oak. Like it's in there, then it's gone, and then you let yourself breathe through your nose again.
I'm trying to think about this because I'm gonna be real. Like the fact that I'm not gonna talk too much about our intimate relationships, but the thing is that when you fuck trans women, they don't make a lot of nut. So really, like, when the nut happens, if anything comes out, it is like 99% your saliva from doing it, and like 1% like little drop of nut. But
that sounds ideal.
You know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, because the thing is, even if you don't, I'm kind of going back on what I said a second ago, because even if you are like not using your taste buds at the moment, it's still going to leave an aftertaste anyway. So I guess there could be like an aftertaste where she's like, that's fucking weird. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like I've never had like a bad nut experience to my knowledge. I mean, and I've sucked a lot of dick.
Valid. Extremely valid.
Not to get too blue, but I did have a grinder phase before I came out as a trans woman, and I sucked a lot of dick.
We're proud of you.
Yes, we're so proud.
I'm proud of you too.
I don't know. One to this extreme where you're like, oh, this is foul. Like it's never nice, but
it's not like I've ever been like, wow, that tasted like someone just poured all the juice out of the garbage into my mouth or something. Like it's not like that's ever happened. Like
that sounds like that sounds awful.
Oh God, truly, right? Yeah, like no, that's never been an experience. But like, I mean, they even do say when she brings it up at brunch, like Miranda's like, well, it's not exactly like it's ever like going to Baskin Robbins, like. But Yeah, no, Samantha says it's like particularly sour. And like it's bad asparagus.
Mixed with Clorox.
Yeah. They talk a bit about how it can be a nutrition thing. Like maybe he needs to eat better.
Okay, so right, when I was watching this, I watched it twice because we were going to do it a week ago and then bleh. Anyway, so I was watching it today and my mother was in the room and she goes, pineapple, it works.
It works.
I think that it works really threw me off and I got very suddenly mad at her and I was
oh my God.
Don't say that. How do you know that? It was like when I was like 11 and I was watching Gossip Girl and my dad was in the room and I said to my mum, I was like, oh my God, he did her on the roof. And my dad was like, how do you know what that is?
Oh my God. I feel like the pineapple thing is just like something you always hear, but I've never heard someone say, oh yeah, I tried it and it worked really well. Like I've never heard of anyone like on purpose doing it.
Well, you're about to.
Oh, good.
Let's hear.
So, disclaimer.
Yeah.
The cum comparisons were my own.
Valid.
This was over a decade ago. So, no, about a decade ago, probably. I'm like 24, so I would have been like 14, 15 at the time, probably. To my recollection, it tasted a little bit better. But, like, that may have just been placebo effect.
Maybe. I've heard that vegans, because you're not having, like, red meat, and generally if you don't smoke, it's like, I've heard the smoking thing
in
before
that case, she may as well have just been sucking off Jordan Peterson here.
Jordan Peterson's nut canonically tastes like garbage juice. So
oh my God, Jordan Peterson's nut has stink lines.
Oh my, it's green.
It erodes through most plastics.
If he can not, that is the face of a man who cannot come.
True.
He doesn't. Well, I think it's not that he. I think it's not that he can't come. It's that he doesn't really know what it is. And like, I feel like he has done. I feel like he has done something that he is like, yes, that is coming, and he has never actually nut.
He has a daughter, doesn't he?
Artificial insemination is a hell of a thing.
True.
Is he still married? Has his wife left him yet?
I don't know.
Must have. Every single man in the alt-right field has had a wife that has left them.
Yeah.
I feel that strongly. They would definitely... They're all... Like, they turned 40 and then were alcoholics who divorced their wives.
No,
like,
he has been married to his current wife, Tammy Roberts, for 30 years.
Tammy?
Well, I mean, I feel like there's a history. I feel like there's just like a documented history of women named Tammy marrying shitbags. Because what was that woman's name in like the 80s that I cannot remember?
Tammy Faye?
Tammy Faye, yes, thank you. The one who was married to the televangelist.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, at least she kind of became a bit of a cult icon. I would like to see Tammy Peterson pull off fucking false eyelashes.
And then, okay, we get Carrie's suggestion, which is just like, why don't you just not give him a head? And Sam's just
That's
like,
a good question.
I never thought of that. Like,
I love it. I love that. That's not even in her book. Like, no, I'm gonna suck his dick even if it's gross.
We've been describing it as garbage juice. Samantha's canonical description is asparagus and Clorox.
Yeah, that is, which is kind of that's kind of what it tastes like anyway.
That's not my experience, but
yeah, same here. Like,
that's a bit of a. Well, I don't know. Maybe not asparagus. Asparagus just makes me think of pee.
I'm just thinking of like, what's that cold medicine that like doesn't taste good but it works?
NyQuil?
No.
Dayquil.
No.
Oh, wait,
it's like
hold on. Are you thinking of Quill?
No, it's not a quill. It looks kind of like cum, and it's like,
Ew.
I think it starts with a B.
Benadryl? Benlin?
No, I don't know. But the slogan is literally tastes awful, but it works. Buckley's.
Buckley's.
Anyway, it's Buckley's. Yeah. That's kind of what cum is like. I don't know.
It tastes awful and it works.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
Well,
Tyrion drinks and knows things. Cum tastes bad and works.
Okay, I think I am confusing. Clorox is bleach, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Okay,
I think it's
yeah.
like pretty much bleach.
Okay, that's where I was getting confused.
Yeah.
Because why would she be drinking bleach?
I mean, it definitely has a pungent smell. Like if you pour it into like a load of laundry, you definitely smell it.
Yeah, I think I'm more thinking of the smell and less of the taste.
Yeah.
Because this is another factoid from my mother, from her being a crazy person. She always said to me, like, no, if it smells, it's because of the semen. It's not because of, like, speaking of vaginas, she's like, their dick makes it smell, not you, which I think is a very enlightened piece.
Shrimp trusting.
Yeah, like if a man ever listen, not just a man, let's not be heteronormative about this, or cisnormative. If someone's ever fingering you and then they eat you out and you're like, oh, this tastes awful, you can just be like, no, your fingers taste awful. My pussy tastes immaculate. You just dirtied them already.
Yeah, she's like, if your pussy stinks, then it's probably because of cum. It's not because of your pussy's doing nothing. It's always a man's fault. And I'm like, thank you for this. This is information I will absorb, store in my brain, and use later.
The thing is, like, your mother telling you at a very young age, it is always men's fault, really just tracks with everything I know about you.
Same, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the most, like, wine mom joke possible, in my opinion, that comes in the scene. Because they ask the question of, like, if this was reversed and men had to swallow women's cum, like, what would would they even get near the stuff? And then Carrie's like, it would if it tasted like beer, and then they all have a laugh and share a minion meme on Facebook.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Like as if men eat pussy anyway.
Honestly, eat more pussy challenge, 2K19.
Like, Mohe everyday send tweet. If you're not getting your pussy ate, dump that.
Like, honestly, yeah, if you are someone who has a vagina and you are in a relationship, and you are in a sexual relationship, and they're not eating your pussy, listen.
Yeah, no.
Raise that bar. Raise that bar just a step.
Mm-hmm.
Just one step.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, it's good. Like, why would people not want to do it anyway? But, so, yeah, then we go back to...
Why does every conversation devolve into, do you know what's good? Eating pussy.
It is, though! The thing is that eating pussy is good!
It's good. It's like sexual caviar, so... Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that fits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the eggs.
It's just chef kiss. So...
That's the kiss that Alex's dream boyfriend does to her pussy every morning.
That's what I'm gonna think of every time I use the chef kiss emoji now.
the two fingers next to each other are to pantomime the folds.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow. We need to speed through. We're at an hour.
So
Holy
Miranda.
shit, yeah, we are. Okay.
Okay, Miranda comes home to a message from Steve, and it's Barbara, and she'd love to go to a movie with him. And this is really just a scene of her being like, okay, my ex could be seeing someone else, and that's pretty much it. So then we go to Carrie. Yep. She's checking her machine, because everyone's checking their machines, because it's 2000. And she's got a message from Big, and it says, I've been thinking about what I said the other day, like, about my blah, 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 blah. So then he's basically just like, you know my number, it's important. And then, Carrie's like, right side of my brain, left side of my brain, do I have a brain? And then she listens to it 7 times.
Yeah.
Yep. Invites over Miranda.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she's like, what do you think? And I don't know, Miranda, I was not paying attention enough, but Miranda says something about JFK. She's a JFK truther. I want to know more. Mm-hmm. But basically, she calls Big after Miranda leaves. And he's like, yeah, sorry I was being kind of weird, but I'm not going to leave Natasha now.
Yeah, and Carrie's pissed, because I would be too. Yeah.
He basically is, he's basically like, yeah, it'd be a little bit too costly to do, so you should probably forget that. So he's not breaking up with her because it'd be too spency.
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, oh, fuck you.
So Big signed a prenup.
Natasha is smart, and I love her.
Yes.
And then, so Carrie sleeps with Aiden, and he's like looking up the ceiling, and he's like, oh, you got cracks in your ceiling. What if I remodel your apartment for you? And she's like, oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, like crafty boy fixing things up, like nice, hell yeah, for free and everything. Just like he's gonna cut the floors, he's gonna plaster, like.
And how do you forgive him? The boy cries you a sweater of tears, and what do? You fuck big.
Yeah, well, she's like, she even says it. She's just like, there's a guy here who's making my home better. Like, he wants to just do nice things for me for no fucking reason. And just like, then there's Big, and he just wants to pull my entire life apart and fuck me up. It's a fucking no-brainer. But Carrie is also a no-brainer. So it's,
Carrie is unfortunately the bimbo representation that I have longed for.
She doesn't have the heart of a bimbo.
No.
A bimbo has heart where she lacks brains.
Mm-hmm.
So then we move on to Samantha on a date with old Bobby Carnival.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And they're having these, like, little wheatgrass shots.
Oh, this is disgusting.
They're in some, like, new age proto-vegan type of place. And he's like, oh, that tastes funky. And Samantha just stares at him.
And ask the waiter how long it takes for wheatgrass to take effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine? Okay, imagine that you were like, imagine being a waiter or a waitress at like some, like just some, like imagine you're just like a waitress at like Friendlies or something. Are there Friendlies in Canada?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't know what that is.
Shit. Okay, Denny's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Denny's.
Okay,
I understand what a Denny's is.
Okay, so now we're in the fiction. Imagine you're a waitress at Denny's, and someone is like, "Excuse me, how long does it take for the Grand Slam breakfast to take effect?" Like, what? Hello, take effect? Hello?
It's an interesting thing to ask.
Yeah, he does say, I don't know, like an hour and a half. He's probably making this number up. Like, he's probably has no fucking idea. Yeah.
He's like, take a, what the fuck are you on about? Maybe that's just like him, like, how long do I have until this makes me shit my brains out?
Pretty much.
I don't know if wheatgrass would make you more regular, but I imagine it would. It seems like the kind of thing that would make you more regular.
It does seem like it. Like, yeah, at least it's, I don't know.
Regular?
I guess
like more regular shits? Like
more regular. Yeah, is that not a term you're familiar with?
No.
Well, I think regular just means like, I always took it to mean like, just on the same time every day. Like, I have friends who are like, oh, I shit 4 times a day. 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon.
Is your friend Matt?
Well, Matt is my friend, but I've never spoken about that with him.
But yeah, when someone says like a regular bowel movement, that just means like, regular bowel movements is like on like a relatively like regular schedule. Not like this shit was not whack.
Well, like I've heard like regular bowel movements like as like a whole word, but not like, oh, are you regular? Like to mean like in the context of a bowel movement without bowel movement being mentioned. But yeah, so I love that she smiles after he says, I don't know, like an hour and a half, and then she looks at the menu because she's like, we got an hour and a half, baby.
And then we cut to again, we're all these different angles with her sucking his dick. Mm-hmm. So now he's standing up and she's by a mirror, and we see his bare ass. And
Bobby,
the Italian stallion that he is. And then
who is this guy?
Like, he's been in like a lot of stuff. He's sort of like a character actor. He has been in a Woody Allen film, which means he will be beheaded. But
do you watch Mr. Robot, Sarah?
No. What's this guy's name?
Bobby Carnival.
I'm gonna just look and see if there's anything that he's been that I would. Oh yeah, he was Will's boyfriend on Will and Grace.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was on Will and Grace. He was on what was that show with my boyfriend Michael Shannon?
Vinyl?
Boardwalk Empire. He was on that. He was on Vinyl, which I watched all of, which was terrible.
I gotta go back and actually watch Boardwalk Empire one of these days, because I know that just like that feels like the most man's man ass show you could possibly make. Like it feels like if someone it genuinely feels like if someone took a look at Mad Men and was like, okay, but like let's get the boring women out of here. We just want all the men story, but also like. Steve Buscemi is possibly my favorite actor, and also, like, Prohibition era, like, America is incredibly fascinating to me, so it's impossible to say if it's good or bad.
I got really interested in it. I tried to watch it and I got bored, but my boyfriend is in it, so I probably should. Anyway, so we see that his from her face, the wheatgrass is not taken, and his dick still tastes funky. So
his dick still tastes funky, 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 funky.
it's not a good kind of funk.
He must have been eating red meat for like nothing but that for months. It's incredible.
Samantha faked the funk with some nasty spunk.
Maybe he's just genetically predisposed to have nasty ass cum. Like, I don't know.
If that's a gene, then I really think we need to bring like gene splicing into the forefront.
Could you imagine if there was just like the cilantro tastes like soap gene, but for cum, it's like, no, I can't get head because for me, cum tastes like soap. I've got that gene, you know, like I've got
Maybe
a genetic
that's what I have.
predisposition.
Maybe that's what I have. I always think it just tastes disgusting. I don't really know what to put can't put my tongue on it, but it's not friendly.
And then, okay, so Sam hated it, and then Trey is out with Charlotte again, and okay,
you can't call her Sam because my brain is Game of Thrones poisoned, and I was like, I was just immediately. You have to call her Samantha. Her name is Samantha. Her name's not Sam.
Little Sam.
No.
I thought you were
Big
going
boy
to call
Sam.
her. I thought you were going to say Sam Canning, and I was very interested in that.
I don't think we mentioned earlier, but when she looked up the wheatgrass shots thing, Samantha did go to www.healthysperm.com.
Oh yeah, the source for all your information on healthy sperm.
Yeah,
totally.
But so we're on the Charlotte scene, right?
Yes, so he doesn't like his salad dressing, and it's okay. So now Charlotte's gonna try to do the thing. Yeah,
it cuts to him eating salad dressing right after Bobby comes, so that was fun.
True.
And then Charlotte's doing the strokey thing on his arm, not anywhere else.
Yeah, she fucking like BioShock asked, "Would you kindly order the tomato basil?"
Yeah,
and it's just
sorry to anyone who doesn't know the twist of BioShock after a decade.
I haven't even played it, and I know it. Like,
yeah, and it's like a caprese salad with no mozzarella. It's literally just slices of tomato with basil, which is probably about $40.
I'd eat it, but
a man chooses, a slave eats tomato basil.
True.
So then she uses the trick to be like, "Hey, maybe we should get married," and he goes, "Alrighty."
Yep. And she just looks devastated. Like, her face is like, well, that backfired.
And yeah, so she goes to Carrie's place and she's like shell-shocked because she's like, I'm engaged. And Carrie's like, that's great. And she's like, yeah, but I proposed to myself. And he said, alrighty.
Carrie's like, you got engaged to a guy who says, alrighty?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think it's endearing, but also it's very funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least he doesn't say then at the end of it, like Ace Ventura.
Oh, true. Yeah.
The thing is, like, I joke about that, but also the other day I did, like, do a perfect, like, parallel park into, like, between, like, with, like, 6 inches of leeway on either side between two cars, and I slide them, like a glove. So, none of us are truly above it.
No,
truly not. Oh my
but
God.
Charlotte's upset because there's no romance, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
The thing is that Charlotte is horny for men until they actually give themselves to her, at which point she is no longer interested whatsoever, which is literally just, she's a lesbian. I know I bring this up every time, but she is a lesbian.
Yeah, no, you're
I
right.
thought you were going to say she's me, so maybe I'm the lesbian.
Thanking emoji.
Makes you think. I mean, listen, equivalent exchange. I kind of like, accepted the identity of bisexual recently, so now there's one less lesbian in the world. Alex, you need to take this bullet. Not like take a bullet. Like being a lesbian is like getting shot.
No, it's like King Arthur. I lift the sword out the stone.
Yeah, exactly. I put the sword there, left it for someone else.
Mm-hmm. So then we move on to Miranda. She's asleep. The dog is barking outside of her door. She goes to pick it up, and then Steve isn't there because he's with the girl who was on the voicemail.
It's really over.
Mm-hmm. And then Aiden and Carrie, and Aiden's redecorating the apartment, but he's being noisy because obviously he's going to be fucking noisy. He's redecorating. Mm-hmm. And Carrie's like, oh, I can't take this noise. So instead of going to like a library or a cafe, she goes to a hotel, which
like
Thought you were poor.
Starbucks was clearly a thing at this point. Like,
100%.
She could have gone to Starbucks and fucking, I don't know, busted out a Discman to drown out the noise. I don't know.
Well, the question is, was Wi-Fi? I genuinely don't know. Was Wi-Fi a widely spread thing in like 1998, 1999?
I don't think she needs to have Wi-Fi though, because I think she's just writing it. I don't know if she needs to send it off. Because I would imagine if Wi-Fi doesn't exist in a hotel, like, it's not going to be in a hotel if it's not in a coffee shop.
Well, no, but in a hotel, like, up until, like, you can get an Ethernet port in a hotel, I'm pretty sure. Like,
yeah.
I can go to the front, I like, to this day and age, I don't know, I doubt it would be at every hotel, but, like, I bet I could go to the front desk at, like, a Marriott and be like, yo, I need an Ethernet port, and they'd be like, certainly, right away.
I don't think Carrie knows what an Ethernet port is.
No. 100% she doesn't.
Cat 6, actually, Miranda only has cat 1, because she's got the 1 cat.
And she's also we see, like, because she's in her house, she's wearing like little booty shorts and whatever, and then later we see that she didn't put on like a pair of jeans to go to this hotel.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, but then we resolve Charlotte. Then we resolve Charlotte's storyline in a very nice way. I genuinely like. I don't like everything else that happened with Steve in this episode, except for when he held the puppy. But I did kind of like the resolution to Miranda's and Charlotte's storylines.
Wait, before we get to Charlotte, can I just say that Carrie says that she can't go to Aiden's apartment because Pete's always jumping on her and deleting things on her computer.
Yeah.
Really good.
I love Pete.
And yeah, anyway, now we can get to Charlotte. But yeah, I did like the resolution to her story as well. Because, you know, she was disappointed about no romance. And then her and Trey are walking down the road holding hands. And, like, he basically takes her to Tiffany's and is like, hey, we should make a stop to get you the perfect ring. And, you know, she's super excited. And they kiss.
She says, alrighty.
Yeah, yes. And, like, from now on, that's her proposal story that she tells people. And she says
that's
she
a
answers
cute
with
proposal
it.
story, if you ask me. I think it's nice.
And plus, it means she's going to get a ring that doesn't look ugly as shit. Because, like, no offense, but Trey probably has like, awful taste. He's not going to pick out a nice ring. So,
and also, completely. Oh yeah, Charlotte has mind control powers now, so she can just kind of use those moving forward.
100%. I love it.
what happens next? Okay, so we're with
So
Samantha.
is it Miranda?
Samantha.
Yeah, Samantha. Thank God.
Yeah, and her and Adam are kissing, and he's like pushing her head down for a blowjob, and I really hate it because she says, "No, I'm not really in the mood tonight," and he's just like, "What's the problem?" and keeps kind of like trying to.
He's like he is like shoving like it's the exact same like part of your body that is worked out when you're like if you've ever been like splashing around in the pool with your friends and one of them tried to like dunk you underwater, like that's the exact same like muscle structure he was using, and it was fucking gross and awful.
Yeah, it was bad. I didn't like this at all.
And then so she's like, "Okay, right, I need to be real with you. Your spunk tastes funky." And then he says, "Oh, that's the most far out excuse I've heard."
And he calls her a 2 blowjob girl, and
Yeah.
I am white hot internet mad at this man in this moment.
I've never heard of that before. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
It is, however, a classic manipulation tactic.
Yeah,
100%.
no, for sure. He's being extremely shitty, and she's like, I resent that because I love giving head. And he's just like, well, if you love giving head so much, why don't you do it? And he basically talks about how easy it is. And this is a very good Samantha moment. Like, and she's right, and she should say it. And she just goes off about how much work it is to give a blowjob. She's like, okay, there's teeth placement, there's jaw stress, there's suction, gag reflex, breathing out of your nose. They don't call it a job for nothing. So
yeah, iconic. and then she offers a deal with him, and she's like, well, if you taste it and you can choke it down and you're okay with it, I will suck your dick. And he's like, I can't do that, it's gay. And then another iconic line from Samantha, which is, it's not gay if it's you.
Fellas, is it gay to taste your own cum?
Hold on, let me ask my 14-year-old self.
I guess the answer is yes.
Eventually.
yeah.
No,
I do not think that was the inciting force for me being gay.
But,
It doesn't-
you
no,
can never
tasting
really
co-
know for sure.
It doesn't make you gay.
Yeah, I'm gonna die and get down to hell, and Satan is gonna point to like he's gonna have like a chart of my life, and he's just gonna point to like me, like age 14, like June 7th, like 2006, and is like, all right, this is when you were gay. This is when you became gay.
Yeah, pinpointing it.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about how Sam tells him that normally, normally giving a blowjob is good, but it's not when it's like taking a trip to the rotten egg buffet.
Oh,
So I love that she tells him that his cum tastes like rotten eggs. Not just rotten eggs, but a rotten egg buffet.
that is. I mean, I don't like any of this. I don't like any of her descriptions at all. They're very good.
They're very good, yeah. But she convinces him because basically, just how far will someone go to get a blowjob? And he basically just struggles to say he's fine with it. Like, he's like choking it down. He's like, it's fine. And, please give me head. And
the thing is that like she should have 100% gone back on her word at that moment, like,
and said,
or
yeah,
at the very least follow up on the foreshadowing from earlier. Make him eat her pussy for an hour, and then she'll suck his dick.
yeah, true. Good point.
Power move. Yeah, I'm into that. And then we sort of zoom out, and we definitely see pubes.
I wasn't looking too carefully, but
I was not looking for pubes. No.
Okay. Well, she pulls down his boxers, and then we 100% see bush.
I believe it. I'm just saying I didn't see it. I fully believe you. I just missed it.
I'd watched it twice, so maybe I was just on the hunt. The other thing I noticed is there's like a close-up of his crotch, and it just seems very flat.
He's like a Ken doll down there.
I would well, because I would imagine he would have a boner.
Oh no, I know what it is. He's got a cloaca.
Maybe that's why it tastes funny.
That's gotta be it.
That's why. Well, I was gonna say that's why his dick tastes so nasty, but his dick doesn't taste nasty. It's his cum that tastes nasty.
I mean, is it still called a blowjob if that's what you have?
I mean, yeah, because the dick comes out of it.
Yeah, true.
I think so.
Interesting.
I don't know definitively. I've only seen like anthropomorphizations of cloacae in my time. I've not actually seen a cloaca, but from all the furry art I've seen, I'm guessing that like that's how it works. That like a dick emerges from the slit.
Oh, like in Shape of Water.
Yeah, the Shape of Water thing has a cloaca.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, final scene. Is it, or do we have Miranda?
Oh, do we have to? Can we just say the episode ended?
The thing is, if we end it now, then we're giving Carrie too much credit, and she has to be taken down, and she has to be dragged because she's not getting away with this, and neither is Big. They're both gonna go to hell. So
let's just do it.
Okay.
Let's just talk about it. Okay.
Okay.
So, Big is in the lobby of the hotel because apparently he went to a place. Aiden was there and was like, she's at the hotel, because Aiden is like a little bit stupid, let's be real.
He's a little bit of a himbo.
He's a little bit of a himbo, which is why I love him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the ideal man.
Yeah, true.
So she's like, okay, whatever, stay in the lobby, I'll come down. And she puts on a trench coat like she's an assassin. And I wish she was. But she goes downstairs and Big's in the bar because he's a drunk.
The thing is, I see that and I'm like immediately like, no, Carrie, just don't go in the bar. You told him to meet you in the lobby. Wait out in the lobby until he comes out to see you. Do not enter the bar.
And especially as you keep having conversations with him where he is wasted, it's probably not a good idea. But she does it anyway. And she's, and then having their little bickering. And she's like, okay, whatever, I'm done. And leaves to go back up to her room. He follows her into the elevator and it gets very creepy, and this is where he's being kind of forceful. Yeah. But then she eventually she reciprocates.
She says fuck you and shoves him off 3 times. And then the 4th time, 3 no's do make, in the same way that 3 left turns do eventually make a right, 3 no's do eventually make a yes, apparently. Because the 4th time she says, fuck me, and then starts hissing him back, and then they fuck, and Carrie has been terminally diagnosed with invalid.
Yes. And then she's smoking a cigarette.
And she's having a smoke while he's taking a cab back to his wife. And they're going to bed, and my stomach is sick.
Yeah.
It's all in my head.
It's not all in my head, sadly.
No.
It's bad.
And it's so bad. And then Carrie's voiceover, she's like, I lost my head.
Yeah, because I fucking cut it off with a chainsaw, and she's... Ugh, I'm so mad.
Terry Bradshaw has been found headless in Miami.
Yes. I guess we should do a bit of a speed run of rankings because we have quite a few questions.
Sure.
And I'm gonna take a big old guess at who's at the bottom.
Yeah, I think Carrie's at the bottom of all of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to. The rest kind of fall into a bit of a jumble for me. I think I got to put Miranda a little bit above that just because Steve is kind of a fucker. And then I think Charlotte, and then I think actually Samantha is number 2, and then Charlotte's my number 1. I think Samantha is just like, I just wish Samantha would just like, there are so many horny men in New York City who do not have nasty spunk. Like, I feel like there was nothing in this episode that was telling us about like what was worthwhile about Adam that made his funky spunk worth it. Like,
yeah.
Like, if Samantha's just looking for a man with a good dick, like she can just kind of find that pretty, I feel like she can find that pretty easily, but like she just like kind of puts up with this guy, in his funky spunk. And then I think Charlotte just had a cute ending, even if she did learn mind control powers.
I am proud of her.
Yeah, me too. And that is like a cute, like, oh, we were walking past Tiffany's and he stopped and proposed to me. Yeah. Like, whatever, I like it.
Yeah, I think I have the same order as you.
Mm-hmm. So. Same.
Mm-hmm.
That means, okay, good, that's right.
That was quick.
Let's do some questions.
Okay, let's do some questions. Yes. If you want to send us questions, you know where to send them. citygirlsmakedo.tumblr.com/ask. So today we've got several questions, so we should try to jump through them as fast as we can. So the first one is from Anonymous, and they are asking, is a public proposal grounds for instant breakup, or am I just strongly opinionated on them?
No, I agree.
I'm far less rash a person than like, I say less rash, like as though you are rash for feeling that way, but like, really, I'm just like, when it comes to those things, I'm just like, oh geez. So like, to me, that'd just be like can we talk about this? Not like an instant breakup, but like you're valid for instant breakup on that front.
I think it's like you gotta
hold on.
You have to know your partner.
Allow me to qualify. Public proposal of just like in the middle of a restaurant or something, I'm a little bit more okay with that. If you propose to me on a Jumbotron, I am fucking pouring my beer on your head and leaving. I'm taking the colors, I'm taking the dog.
That's it for me. It's like, okay, if you take me to like my favorite restaurant and we've had multiple conversations and we're both on the same page and like we're like, yeah, I would marry you if you wanted me to. Yeah, same. Cool. Then I wouldn't be as mad. But 100% one of those stupid, I mean, if you do a fucking flash mob, I'm gonna stab you.
Yeah, I'm like on the same page. And I also feel like it totally depends because like you have to know if your partner is gonna hate it or not. Like by the time, if you're ready to marry someone, you should know whether or not they're the kind of person who's gonna fucking hate it if you do like a fucking Jumbotron proposal. I feel like restaurant type thing is like fine, but it's kind of boring. But I don't know.
I think, yeah, you're right. If someone is wanting to be with me for the rest of my life, they should know me pretty well. And the thing is, I love attention, but I don't like surprises.
Yeah.
So I would like to be proposed to privately and then announce it in a stupid way or something.
Yeah. Like propose to me in private, and then I'll say yes, and then like tomorrow at the Orioles game, you can get down on one knee for the Jumbotron. We can make a big show of it and like game the system.
Yeah, exactly. That's my ideal.
All right. So thank you for the question. Our next one is from our regular question asker, friend of the show, PR the Disaster, who has asked, hey, what a bad fucking ending. If spunk could taste like whatever you wanted, what taste would you prefer? And for a less gross question, do you consider yourself a good manipulator? Okay, so first question. If spunk could taste like whatever you wanted, what would it be?
I wouldn't want it to be anything, I don't know. I don't think I'd want it to be like anything super duper sweet.
No.
Like, I don't want, like, ice cream tasting or anything, but, like, something that's, like, kind of, like, pleasant. Like, something that, like, something, like, basically I want it to be the flavor of something that, like, I'll drink, but won't really actively seek out, which is why I think, like, Sprite would be the best flavor of
I was thinking Sprite, and I have a can of Sprite next to me.
Oh my god. I don't know.
I was going to say...
Sprite is just like the epitome of like, what do you have to drink in the cooler? I've got some water, I've got some Sprite. I'll take a Sprite. Like, Sprite is never my first, second, or third choice, but like, yeah, I like the taste of a nice cold Sprite. Wait, it has to be cold. It has to be cold Sprite. If this is if it tastes like warm Sprite, no.
It's gonna be warm.
It's coming out of the body cold. Are you saying you also want it to be carbonated?
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I want it to feel like Pop Rock coming out of that dick.
Oh, boy.
It has to be okay. No, it has to be warm because it's coming out of a body.
If it has to be warm, then like
warm milk.
I'm gonna say caramel.
Oh, I was gonna say peanut butter.
What about like molasses? Because molasses is something that I like the taste of, but I'm not gonna have more than like a tiny bit of it.
I love the idea. Just it comes out really slow.
It's just super viscous.
You have to like squeeze it like one of those cake batter, like those cake frosting thingies.
What if people just stopped saying slow like molasses and they started saying, oh, it's just, it's real slow like cum? And
Have you ever like tried to pour cum out of a jar? It takes time.
I mean, it's viscous, but it's not like molasses or honey viscous.
My favorite Fiona Apple song, Slow Like Cum.
That's my favorite too.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, less gross question then?
Yeah, okay. So do you consider... Yeah. Wait, I didn't answer the question.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Wait, no, I did, because I said molasses, I guess. If it had to be like a pop, it would be like a nice ginger ale, like a nice Canada Dry or something. Like,
again, remember, this is warm.
That's fine. I've had warm ginger ale. It's fine.
All right.
A magician never reveals her secrets, so I'm not answering the question.
Okay. A good manipulator? Okay. I don't know. Like, I don't want to be a good manipulator. It's not like something that's a trait that I would like. It's not, I don't know.
I think because of my BPD, I always think I'm manipulating people, and I'm always like, "Oh shit, fuck! I just manipulated someone."
Not
and
because
I'm not.
of BPD. Not. I don't have BPD as far as I know, but also like extremely same feeling of just like every time I express like sadness or like want of anything, and someone like responds to that, I'm like, "Oh god, no! I just manipulated them into like caring about me or like giving me money." Or something.
Yeah,
like I remember I showed when I got my cowboy boots, is because I sent a picture of them to my mum. I was like, look how cool these are. And she was like, I bought them for you. And I'm like, I didn't want you to do that. Aww. And now I feel like I just manipulated you into buying me cowboy boots. But I do have them.
I love your mom.
The one time I am proud of a manipulation thing that I did, when I was younger, like up until I was at least like 18 years old, I was honest to a fault. Could not lie about anything. Got myself in trouble repeatedly because I would do a thing, my parents would ask what happened. I would have an easy out of an answer, just like, I don't know. But I would just always tell them blatantly 100% what I was doing. This also came to a head once when I asked to borrow my mom's credit card to buy a video game when it was in fact for a sex toy. And then later that night I felt bad because and then I went to my mother, hey, sorry, it's not for a video game, it's for a sex toy. And she's like, I didn't need to know that. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But
you can't do that.
So this came back in like a couple of years ago. So like I'm gonna say 2015, 2016. Every year my sister, my parents, and I all go to the local like Christmas tree place to pick out a tree because we always grab something right off of the range. And there was this short, fat piece of shit tree that my sister and I just became obsessed with called a Christmas bush. And my sister and I were insistent on it. My parents had the final say on it, and they were like, "No, it looks bad." And then we basically like walked around in a circle around the field, and my sister like trying to pull one over on my parents. She's like, "Hey, look, I like this tree," pointing to Christmas bush again. My parents didn't realize, and they were like, "Is that Christmas bush?" And my sister's like, "Nope." And my sister having lied all throughout her childhood, my parents then turned to me, the perpetual truth teller, and is like, "Is this Christmas bush?" And I say, "No."
Oh my god.
So we got Christmas bush.
I'm
the
so happy
longest
about Christmas
con.
bush. Wow.
Christmas bush is name of what's in my pants during the holiday season.
Yeah, we are all Christmas bush. So, yep. I don't really. The thing is, if I ever am at a place where I'm like, I really want someone to do something for me, I usually like don't try. I don't know. I don't try to manipulate them into doing it. I'll be like, I'll maybe just like drop really big hints that it's a thing that I want, or just outright say, pay more attention to me or something.
Yeah.
So it's not manipulating. It's just like,
I
yeah.
mean, I've manipulated men, but I don't think they count.
No.
Like, you know, when you're like, oh, I'm just going to bat my eyelashes. Yeah, but like when you like bat your eyelashes and smile at someone, you're like, can we please do this for me? I'm a stupid girl. And then they do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's textbook.
Oh, no. Like, I already deleted the question, but I think it said, are you good at manipulating people? So they don't count.
Men aren't people.
No. So I think that's pretty good. I think we answered that one. Okay, next question is from Tumblr user Magnificent Sapcatty, who says, if eating pineapple makes your cum taste different, do you think that there's a specific sequence of foods that if you eat them in the right order, your nut will be like gum from Willy Wonka and have 3 discrete flavors?
I would love that. I guess you would have to like pineapple to make it sweet, so that would be last for dessert, and then I don't know. I think you want to savory until dessert.
Beef. Okay, so you have to go in reverse order. So it's like it's like programming. Last in is first out. It's like using a stack. So
Yes.
pineapple has to be the first thing you eat, so that you get the sweet at the end. Then you gotta get something savory, so I'm gonna say beef brisket in the middle. Then you gotta get like an appetizer. I'm gonna say a fully loaded baked potato, because that's got kind of bit like a nice, like a little bit of everything that you could want. Like, you know, you got the chives, you got the sour cream, you got the butter, you got the cheese, you got the potato. You know, it's thick, it's starchy, just exactly.
Yeah, starchy. Yeah, like a really starchy. And then it's gonna just be hard to clean out, like when you make rice and you're trying to wash the pot afterwards, and you're like, God damn it, that's what it's like. Yeah,
but you're like, well, at least it fills you up.
Oh, you might have to hold on, Steph. Hold on, I need to say this, and you probably should bleep this out, but after you have come after this, you need.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a sound.
It's just a standard.
I'm gonna request actually that you bleep that one out.
All right.
Yeah.
I can make that happen. Yeah, no, I can. It's just like that. So,
As Mariah Carey said, it's like that.
yeah, it's like that. And
I'm losing my mind.
God, that would really change all of George R. R. Martin's descriptions of like seed spilling down your leg afterwards. So,
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, the gravy.
See, okay, so my thought for like the 3 flavors are like, okay, you know how like, okay, so I feel like it should still be a little bit salty. Like, so, okay, you know when you have like a bite of, you know when you put like a bite of McFlurry in your mouth and then you put a McDonald's French fry in your mouth and you're like,
Of course.
So you need to have like you gotta have that like sweet and salty combination, I think. So it's gotta be like maybe not ice cream, but like something like maybe a French fry.
So a caramel.
Yeah, like a caramel and a French fry, and then maybe also something like some kind of fruit or vegetable to kind of just like
Pineapple.
I don't know. Yeah, and then pineapple to finish it off. Yeah.
I feel like it's always gonna have a bit of saltiness to it. Like it's not gonna come out tasting like icing. So
No, true.
I would maybe I would just be like, okay, maybe we start with like different fruits. Maybe we have like a nice salad with like apple in it. Maybe a bit of goat's cheese, some walnuts.
Just have a nice big cup of chamomile and suck off.
Oh, that sounds like a pleasant evening.
Oh, it's good.
And then maybe something, I don't know, raspberries.
Oh yeah, raspberries would be good. True.
Yeah, I
This
feel like you
reminds
just want
me-
to you just want to stick with fruit for now.
Yeah, true. This reminds me of like when people used to come in when I used to work at a deli for like fucking like 8 or 9 years, and people would come in and they were like, "Is the ham high in salt content, and I would just have to be like, what the fuck do you think? Like, that's me thinking about, like, if you could even remove the salt flavor from someone's cum with
I don't think you can.
What the fuck do you think? Like, Carol, it's a ham. Of course you can't. Like,
Okay, yeah, maybe pork and applesauce. Because that's a winning combination.
yeah, true. I think these are all really good, and I think that we should get a scientist to test it, but not me.
Speaking of science.
Yes. Speaking of science, we have another question. Okay, so thank you to the person who asked that last doozy. The next one is from Anonymous, who has said, inspired by a Discord chat, which periodic elements are the most bisexual? Okay, so I wrote down 3. I thought about this for a while because, you know, I am a chemist. So, this is canon and I'm right. And I'm a scientist and I have a master's degree.
I have 2 in my head that 2 immediately come to mind. I don't know why, but go on and say yours and I'll tell you if mine correspond whatsoever.
Okay, hydrogen was my first one. And that is because hydrogen has a tendency to either, well, like it can be H plus or H minus. So that's kind of just like our bread and butter of being a bisexual. The second one was neon because, okay, it's a noble gas, which means it's a nerd as fuck and it's like not going to do anything. I don't know if you've ever been on Tinder and talked to, been gay on Tinder before, but people be not messaging you back.
Don't call me out like that.
Listen, this used to be me too. Also, neon is cool as shit when you put a current through it because bisexuals are like that and we're like bright.
We are
neon.
colorful.
We're bright and neon. Yeah. And the third one is gallium because if you put me in your hand, I will melt.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
So
what were yours, Sarah?
The 2 that came to mind for no reason whatsoever were cobalt and tungsten. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Tungsten is, I think, the best conductor, I think, on the table, but I'm not sure about that. Don't fact check me, which is cool.
Bi-speed conducting is...
Yes, like electrical conductor. Cobalt is just cool as shit. I love me a transition metal, so yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say copper. Like, I feel like bisexuals are like a copper and a blue kind of colour. If they're not purple and pink and blue. Then I feel like there's a hint of copper to us. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
I think that those are good. And
yeah.
And I am, so send tweet, bye. Okay, the next question is from Tumblr user 2x2Furious, who says, last week, Alex and guest talked about their experiences, shout out to Lola, with their own Mr. Biggs. I started to wonder, did either of you have any experience with your own Steve? If not, you're really lucky.
No,
I've never had a Steve, so...
Shut that down.
Yeah, we are really lucky, so... Thank you. Okay, this is the last one we have in our inbox, and it is from Tumblr user Mike Dawson, regular question sender of the show. It says, in your opinion, what shows or other media better fulfill the intersection of feminism and sex positivity that Sex and the City strives to reach?
It's not
Woman on Top.
It's not it's not a show that I personally watch, but have heard great things about. And like from what I've seen, this is the vibe that I get. Like, is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend one of those shows?
I don't say sex positivity.
Interesting.
I think in terms of like mental health, it's at least a discussion. But like, yeah. I don't know if I'd say that. I was gonna say Insecure, which like I haven't seen enough of, but I feel like that's pretty. I mean, it's for people who like girls but understand that white women are the devil. So.
I don't know if I have a show that's particularly about sex positivity, but the show that I kind of want to shout out is Canadian icon show Orphan Black. It's not a sex positivity show by any means, really, but it's a show about, I don't know, like, to me, it's a show that's really good at showing, like, a lot of different kinds of women and how they deal with their body autonomy, and it's a really good show. So
I have been watching a lot of Pose recently, and I think like the discussion on sex in that is really interesting, and I think specifically because like the majority of the main characters are Black and Latino and either, you know, gay or trans or some other combination of that. Mm-hmm. It's like, and it's in the 80s, it's like a very sex negative time to be any of that. Mm-hmm. And it's just showing them as humans who enjoy sex, but there's a lot of difficulties that come with that. And I've enjoyed it. So, I mean, Yeah, I think from like a modern sense of view, the show is just so white and cis and hetero that it's kind of impossible for it to really live up to the standards we probably have.
Yeah, and I can't honestly even think of a show that really isn't. I mean, there are shows that do it better than Sex and the City, but I still don't think there's any shows that really, like, you know, nail it like I would like them to.
No,
I don't think any show could do it perfectly, but like better to a standard that I appreciate. So, yeah.
There are shows that at least try more.
That's true. Yeah. Sex and the City thought they were trying. But, so that's the last question in our inbox.
Yeah. We've been saving a question because we kind of botched this.
Yes.
This question is from some fucking... I'm going to botch this.
Tumblr is a cheese of Tonkas.
So this is a cheese of Tonkas for our friend. Anyway, all right. So yeah, sorry. Let me go through this. So we had this question a little while ago when our friend of the show, Matt Berger, was on, who I don't think we've shouted out, but has been listening to the show and writing in the chat, which I've just loved.
I didn't even notice until like halfway through the episode.
Yeah. So he pulled this up for us, the question, and it's from Totsugeki.
Totsugeki, yep.
There we go. Totsugeki Allspark.
With
who
four
asked
A's.
us with like 4 A's. Totsugeki, whatever. I'm just gonna fucking read it. I'm just gonna read the question because we're running very late.
Cheese of Tonkas asks.
Anyway, they asked, love the podcast. So my question is, what are the girls' stands / abilities? Remember, music theme names. And as the main bad guy, what is Mr. Big's stand? Bonus for Stanford or any of Mr. Big's minions.
All right.
So thank you for loving the show and asking a question, but we have an expert.
Okay, so some of these abilities are going to be reductive of things that are already extant in the show, but that's fine because neither of you watched the show. So, Charlotte, So, Samantha, what is the horniest song of the 90s? There's a right answer to this, but I'm curious. Let me hear one song apiece. Horniest song of the 90s.
I Touch Myself by the Divinyls.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking of, but go on. To me, it's Pony by Genuine.
Oh, yeah. That's horny.
So Samantha's stand is Pony. I didn't actually think about what it does. I just kind of like stopped when I hit it. It makes everyone in a radius around her just like horny to the point of being unable to do anything. Charlotte's stand, because she is so obsessed with like Disney with like Disney ass marriages and bullshit, is that her Charlotte's stand is called Love Story, as an homage to Taylor Swift's Love Story, and it like Boingo's future sight book, it kind of like is like a picture book of just like events that are going to happen, that it provides her prophecies. Fucking Carrie's is, oh my god, I had one. I completely forgot what it was.
Something fashion-y, maybe?
No, it was something about writing, but I can't remember what it was. Because I originally landed on Love Story for her, but then I realized that fit way better with Charlotte. Miranda's is okay, so Miranda's is actually this is something that's gonna be completely unfamiliar to anyone who does not watch Giant Bomb's content, but every year on every Giant Bomb stream, their stream is preceded by a repeating loop of one song called Lockdown, which is, the chorus goes, "It's a lockdown, baby, you drive me crazy. You're my jury, You're my attorney, my judge and jury. So fucking something, baby, lock me up and throw away the key." So that's Miranda. Her stand just puts puts dick and ball cages on everyone with dick and balls. She just engages them in CBT.
Love it.
Biggs is named "The District Sleeps Alone Tonight" after the Postal Service song, just because he is the one worth leaving. And it just kind of can just kind of turn it on and make everyone sleep at the drop of a hat. He's got melatonin in his fingertips. And I genuinely don't have anything for Carrie. I'm sorry. It completely is out of my head. I don't have anything for Carrie.
That's fine. She doesn't deserve it.
Well, Carrie sucks. Yeah, she doesn't deserve to have a stand.
Yeah, I mean, Big doesn't either, but like at the same time, it's like, it's fine. And we appreciate you knowing way more than we do about this.
I don't know what Carrie's stand is called, but I do know that it manifests as a typewriter that whatever she types on it does come true.
Ooh, like a death note.
Yeah.
Oh god, Carrie with a death note. That's terrifying.
Yep.
Oh my god. Natasha would be in pieces by now.
I don't know anything about the rest of them. I don't know anything about Mr. Big's minions, so that's what I got.
That's good. Thank you. I'm glad you could answer this question
You're welcome.
to
Me too.
to what it deserves.
Yeah.
So thank you for asking it.
Yep. So our questions. That's our questions.
That's our questions. That's it. It's everything.
So where can we find you online, Sarah?
You can find me on Twitter at sunhatzhenia. That's SUNHATZHENYA. You can also find me on my other podcast that I do. I do Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die with Alex. It's the Leftism Politics podcast for the Terminally Online. I do Fear Baiting, which is a horror movie podcast that I do with a bunch of my friends. My girlfriend's going to be on the next episode where we're going to be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which I'm really excited about. Our most recent episode was with a very old friend of mine, and we watched Shutter Island.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is the super gay one, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, actually.
Oh, I think it's like a full like gay subtext. A lot of it. So have fun.
I will. You can also catch me on The Wonder Years, which is the Animorphs podcast that I do with my friends who are waiting on me to go record right now. So I should probably get in there pretty quickly. And yeah, I think that's everywhere you can find me that you're wanting to look. Thank you so much for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
It's so much fun to have you. Like, we love it.
Yeah,
Aww.
we become like the what did we call it? The what trifecta? The cursed trifecta? I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
But it's real good and we love it.
We're like the Bermuda Triangle of podcasters.
True. And men just go missing inside of it. So
interesting.
Weird, but I don't know. Okay. Anyway, you can find me at Age of Oddish on Twitter and Windfall Island on Tumblr, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you can find me at Dork Phoenix on Tumblr and then Dork Phoenix 69 on Twitter. And on Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die. Sometimes.
Sometime he is TikTok bitch. And anyway, find us on Noisepace and find us on Twitter and Tumblr at City Girls Make Do. And that's pretty much it.
Arrivederci.
Yeah.
Hold on to your knickers.
Let's
go, girls.
Bye.